Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Joy Newsroom. We're coming to you live from our studio here at Kokumlimle, Accra. And we're also live on DSTV channel 421, Gold TV channel 125 and around the world on myjoyonline.com. My name is Shalasechi. Coming up, gunmen kill students in Nalerigu and Boku as tensions spill into schools. We have details as government shifts from peacekeeping to peace enforcement in Boku amid renewed violence. Also in the bulletin, Ghana records first Mpox death as cases rise to 257. We have details plus how to stay safe. National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat arrests 11 Chinese nationals in latest swoop in the Bole Bamboy enclave of the Savannah region as they renew crackdown on illegal mining. Thanks for joining us. Now, the first story. Nalerigu killings. Thanks for joining us. To a first story, two separate deadly attacks on students in Nalerigu and Boku have sent shockwaves across the country as the ongoing tensions in the Upper East region appear to be escalating into two targeted violence in schools. Last night, two students of Nalerigu Senior High School were reportedly gunned down by unknown assailants hours after a 19-year-old student of Boku Senior High School was dragged out of his dormitory and shot dead on campus. The Boku student, believed to be of Mosi descent, is suspected to have been mistaken for a target in the chieftaincy conflict. Reports indicate that unknown gunmen scaled the school's walls to carry out the attack. Residents have reported sustained gunfire in Boku over the past 48 hours, with fears growing that the violence is spreading beyond traditional lines and into educational institutions. Let's now engage our Northeast Regional Correspondent, Ilyasu Tanko, on this developing story. Thanks for joining us, Ilyasu. Now, can you report what exactly is happening on ground?
Well, as we speak, the police said they have retrieved the bodies of these two students who were killed by gunmen last night, and their bodies are currently deposited in a morgue while investigations are proceeding. As we speak, the situation in Nalerigu is quite tense. There's widespread fears among residents, and we are just getting the news that the curfew has been imposed in Nalerigu for the first time, and we are also getting information that the curfew in Boko has also been reviewed from 2 p.m. to 6 a.m. Same time in Nalerigu. And so residents are questioning the basis of this curfew, but the police are intensifying measures to arrest these particular gunmen. And the information is that this particular killing is in response to the killing of a 19-year-old student of the Boko Senior High School, as we mentioned in the headline.
Thanks for joining us, Elias. Now let's move on to our next developing story, where the government of Ghana has announced a swift from peacekeeping to peace enforcement in Boku and surrounding areas following renewed violence that threatens ongoing peace efforts. A military deployment and tighter curfews are now in place to protect lives and restore stability. Here's the full government statement. I can't see. The government of Ghana is stepping up its approach from peacekeeping to peace enforcement in Boku and other affected areas due to the recent escalation of violence, which could derail the peace-building process. The Ghana Armed Forces have been deployed to maintain law and order and we intensify curfews to ensure public safety. We assure the public that the Ghana Armed Forces will take all necessary measures to protect lives and properties. Government commends His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II for mediating the conflict and appreciate all stakeholders who are supporting the peace process. Otumfuo mediation with the genuine help of Nairi and Zugranam has almost brought finality to the conflict until the very recent killings, which has necessitated drastic actions to protect all in the interest of the greater good. Government urges all parties to refrain from violence and support the peace process. Residents are advised to fully cooperate with the Ghana Armed Forces to ensure peace. While regretting the inconvenience this peace enforcement intervention may cause to peace-loving people within the affected areas, the government of Ghana remains committed to restoring peace and stability in Boku and other affected areas and is taking every necessary measure to ensure the safety and security of all residents, including students. This is signed by Felix Kwachi Ofosu, who is the spokesperson to the President and the Minister for Government Communications. And joining us to discuss is Adeps Sani, who is a security analyst. Good afternoon, sir. And conflict in Boku doesn't seem to go away. What else do you think can be done?
Well, there are a number of strategies that can be deployed. We have immediate, short, medium to long-term strategy. I do look that this administration is very committed to dealing with the impasse. I remember Boku was the president's first official trip outside of Accra after he was inaugurated, obviously indicative of the importance he attaches to resolving the matter. But first things first, we need to stop the belligerence. The firing has been reported, almost on hourly basis. I get up-to-date information from people I know on the ground. Sometimes it gets a bit out of control and they fire unabated for a number of hours or even days. We need to stop it. We need to put more, in my opinion, boots on the ground, enhance intelligence. Then now we can deal with the other issues. The Otumfuo is looking into the matter. Hopefully, very soon, we would have his report, which the government is supposed to look at and probably implement. But going forward, we need to address those systemic, structural, socioeconomic issues that also facilitate the fighting. Issues of youth unemployment would need to be looked at, proliferation of small arms and light weapons, issues of law enforcement, because it almost looks like I do you, you do me, which in my opinion is tantamount to a state of lawlessness. I do know the government is committed, but cannot do it alone. We all have a very important role to play. I've always stated that, look, this conflict is a multi-pronged conflict that requires a multi-pronged approach to dealing with. Even the media, you also have a role to play. So, for instance, if one tribe kills another tribe, you don't come out to, clearly state that this tribe has killed that tribe. No. Someone is dead. Until the police conducts an investigation and comes out with a report saying that, hey, this person did this, okay? Because if you put out such information, it has the tendency of making the other side stage reprisal attacks. Social media is also one medium that is used to incite violence, and I think we should do something about it. Thankfully, we have the Cybersecurity Authority and other agencies that can look into it, in as much as we need to also be very careful so it doesn't look like you are stifling the freedom of expression. So, as I indicated, this is a quite complex issue that requires a complex approach to deal with.
Now, you are a security expert. What exactly does the government mean by we are shifting from peacekeeping to peace enforcement? What exactly does that mean?
Okay, so I'm the executive director of the Jatiki Center for Human Security and Peace Building. Okay. First of all, you need to enforce the peace. Okay. What it means is stop the belligerence. Then you would keep the peace by making sure people don't go back to their guns again. Okay. Then after that, you now focus on the structural issues, the chieftaincy issue, the socio-economic issue, access to health care, access to law enforcement, access to water, access to food. Then, by so doing, you are building the peace. We also need to build trust and confidence in state institutions, capacity and capability to ensure justice. Because if the people don't trust in the state, they take matters into their own hands. I hope you get me. That is where the peace-building aspects of it comes in. So it is, we should start from somewhere. And I do know that we have started from somewhere. The fact that the Otumfo is looking into the matter, the president has shown the right level of commitment to this matter. I think peace is not a matter of how, but a matter of when it will be achieved in Boku.
Adib, it looks like this tensions is seeping into our educational system. 2 students have been killed in Boku and in Nalerigu. Do you think it's a good time to give students an early exit? Should students be should schools be closed down or relocated to less volatile areas?
Okay, so yesterday I got information about an incident on a campus. And my next question was, is there no security there? They said, no, there's no security there. I think as part of the general security approach, we need to ensure some level of security on the school campuses, okay? If the situation based on intelligence seems to be getting volatile by the day, then we would have no option but to close the schools and let the children go where it is safe, all right? Because there are incidents of perhaps firing around the school, stray bullets can travel and hit someone in his dormitory and all that. So it depends on the security assessment, okay? If there's a need, then they would have no option but to let the schools close so the students are safe in their homes. And I must say, this is affecting education in the area. It's affecting healthcare also, because those specialists would want to be, posted to such a conflict hotspot. The banks are also not there. Businesses, nobody would want to invest where he or she wouldn't feel
overall
safe.
Development.
Sorry?
No, I'm agreeing with you, saying this is affecting overall development of these areas.
Absolutely. And a lot of the young people have left the area. A lot of the young people. And it will interest you to know that a lot of the people inciting the violence are not even in Boku. That is the unfortunate bit of it. Okay? And because of that, the young people left there. A lot of them are without jobs. Some of them were born into the conflict, know nothing but the conflict. Some of them, as early as teenage years, are able to assemble a Kalashnikov. Some of them know how to handle rifles and even submachine guns. So it is foreign. And I do also know that the Small Arms Commission, headed by my senior colleague, Dr. Adam Puna, has also been doing some work in that area. But like I said, it's a gradual process, and I must repeat that government cannot do it alone. We all, as citizens, have a very important role, distinct roles to play in ensuring that peace is restored in Boku. And for anyone to think that it is a Boku affair, and I've been saying this years ago, that person would have to rethink, because Boku is part of Ghana. What happens in Boku affects everybody. Now we are seeing the the possibility, because I'm being very cautious with my words, because we've heard about some killings in some other parts of the country. I need not run before I walk, okay? The police is still looking into it, but there's a possibility that it might be related to what is going on in Boku. So it is coming right before our doors, okay? So we all need to show that commitment, not just show, but to demonstrate that commitment to ensuring that peace is restored in Boku.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Adeps Sani. Adeps Sani is a security analyst. Now, we were scheduled to speak to the regional minister, Mr. Ibrahim T. Unfortunately, he is busy and in some meetings and so cannot speak to us. We'll definitely try and get him in our subsequent bulletins. Moving on to another unfortunate event, Ghana has confirmed its first case or its first death from the ongoing Mpox outbreak as health officials report a continual rise in infections. According to the Ghana Health Service, 23 cases have been recorded, bringing the total number of confirmed infections to 257. Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, is a viral disease that spreads primarily through close contact with an infected person, including skin-to-skin contact, body fluids, and respiratory droplets. So as at 22nd of July 2025, these are the new confirmed cases. That's 23, bringing the total to a number of 257. We unfortunately have one death in total, and this is from the Ghana Health Service. And so if you're watching, this is the time to take care of yourself and stay safe. How to do that? The Ghana Health Service is urging the public to take extra precautions. First, avoid close contact with people showing symptoms. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water, and of course, use hand sanitizer. Most importantly, symptoms are fever, rashes, swollen limbs. Early to the nearest health facility. If you see any of these symptoms, rush to the nearest health facility. Health officials say early detection and responsible behavior are critical in preventing further spread. Stay with us for continuing updates on Mpox. Away from Mpox, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman has urged policymakers and traditional leaders to create youth-centered policies that can ensure continued development in the country. He was speaking at the Panafest and Emancipation Day at the historic Victoria Park in Cape Coast in the Central Region. This year's celebration highlighted the theme of restitution and emphasized the importance of African unity. Professor Opoku-Agyeman stressed that reparations are not limited to financial compensation and urged Ghanaians and Africans to invest in the youth as a vital step towards securing a brighter future. Abigail Esiel Nkrumah has more in this report.
In the midst of culture, tradition, and celebrations was a deep reflection of the pains of history and the fight for freedom. Since its inception in 1992, the Pan-African Festival, Panafest, has sought to celebrate and reminisce Africa's road to freedom from slavery. This year's Panafest, the 16th edition, was built on the theme, "Let us speak of reparative justice, Pan-African artistic activism." Gracing the occasion at the Victoria Park in Cape Coast, the Vice President of Ghana, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, stressed on the significance of embracing history and the need to connect with Africans in the diaspora.
So when we welcome the African diaspora, I want us to be mindful of that. That we have relatives that maybe we have not reached yet. History is important. Studying is important. And sometimes we are told that, oh, people have forgotten. Nobody has forgotten. The narrative is still alive if we want to find it. Our elders have the history. If we can approach them with the humility, they will teach us. And I think I'm an example of that. Going to places I didn't know, but the people were there to narrate the history, and we need to embrace them.
While reflecting on the theme for PANAFest 2025, the Vice President also highlighted the essence of reparation.
In terms of reparation, of course, this is very, very important. It has moral, political, and economic ramifications. Beyond the finance, some of us want to see a time when Africans are not living at the razor edge of life, no matter where they are, no matter how rich the country is or how poor that country is. We ought to live like other people also live. Find our levels of confidence, see ourselves in the future, and not to be afraid. That is also important. And that goes beyond money. It goes beyond being ourselves and also making our contributions to the world like everybody else does. When we come to our continent, one huge advantage is with our youth. We need to invest in them, and we need to have human-centered, youth-centered policies. And this is what this government, that I'm proud to be part of, is trying to do. When we say that the youth is our future, we need to mean it. And it must reflect in everything we do. And that, as I said, is what we are trying to do.
PANAFest and Emancipation Day seek to honor the strength of the African spirit, the pains of slavery, and reawaken the unity of the global African family. From Cape Coast, Abigail Lissel Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
The National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat has arrested at least 11 Chinese nationals for engaging in illegal mining activities in the Bole Bamboy enclave of the Savannah region. The arrest, part of a sustained nationwide crackdown on Galamsey, also led to the seizure of several earth-moving equipment, tipper trucks and other materials being used in the illicit operations. The suspects were picked up during a raid on July 24, 2025, with all confiscated items now transported to the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat headquarters here in Accra for further action. Authorities say the swoops are ongoing as they intensify efforts to protect the country's natural resources. Winston Taki, my colleague, joins us on Zoom. Thanks for joining us, Winston. First of all, tell us, what more do we need to know about the swoops by the task force?
The raid happened on days ago, and the NADMO task force stormed the site where the Chinese nationals were actively mining. They had been monitoring the areas for days. This was part of a broader crackdown targeting the hotspots in the Savannah region.
What exactly was seized, and what's the plan moving forward?
Interestingly enough, they seized 4 tipper trucks, a bulldozer, a low bed trailer, 28 ties, drums and of engine oil, and other items. Everything has been moved to NADMO headquarters in Accra. Authorities say the next step is to process the suspects and determine legal actions while identifying operations, or let's say intensifying operations in that particular area. However, they plan to sustain the fight with more of such swoops in the coming weeks.
All right, thanks for joining us, Winston. That was Winston Taki, my colleague there. Now, still on mining, the overlord of the Dagbon Dan, Ya Na Nabukari II, has called for the adoption of a new mining approach that showcases African nations' ability to extract minerals responsibly, leaving the environment more prosperous than before. To achieve this, he suggests Ghana can learn valuable lessons from successful mining practices around the world to transform its mining sector. The Overlord said this at a forum organized by the Minimal Commission in Tamale.
The engagement is part of a broader effort to review and update Ghana's mining policy with the goal of creating a more effective and sustainable framework for the mining sector. Speaking at the Minerals Commission stakeholder engagement with the Northern Regional House of Chiefs in Tamale, spokesperson for the Overlord, Zangbanlana Na Dr. Jacob Mahama, said the mining companies should set aside funds to support communities they operate in.
Ghana must lead a mining revolution that proves to the world that African nations can extract minerals from the earth while leaving it more prosperous than we found it. This can be done as witnessed by the lessons from global success stories. In Chile, small-scale copper miners were once scattered and struggling. Today, through cooperative mining clusters, over 15,000 small-scale miners work together, sharing technology, training, and markets. Every mining license should come with a community development fund. Before any shovel touches our soil, mining companies must deposit funds that guarantee clean water systems for affected communities, educational scholarship for local children, healthcare facilities that serve long after mining ends, alternative livelihood training for when mines close.
Deputy Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission, Isaac Akando, said that the Dabon Traditional Council has up to 2 weeks to put together what they want to see in the Act.
And in line with the current administration's objective of putting Ghanaians at the forefront of mining, so we can have Ghanaians benefiting from the greater value chain of this industry, a lot needs to change. So today we are here to listen to the people of the Dabon traditional area and also give them about 2 weeks to submit their official stance as to what they want to be captured in the Act as well as the mining policy. So as Ghanaians, we can see real benefit from our mineral resources. An Act or a mining policy that can protect our environment, give us a sustainable mining, and much more benefit for this generation and the generations ahead.
And in other stories, the president of the CSIR College of Science and Technology, Professor Mark Appiah, is urging government to prioritize massive investment in science, research and innovation to help drive Ghana's economic transformation. He believes such investment is critical to achieving the country's vision of a prosperous 24-hour economy, and says institutions like CSIR and CCST are already laying the foundation for a national scale scientific and industrial revolution. Professor Appiah made the call during the college's 5th congregation in Accra, where 63 students graduated in various scientific disciplines. He also stressed the need for infrastructural upgrades as the college works towards securing a charter to become an independent postgraduate research university.
As the government of Ghana works to transform our economy into a prosperous 24-hour economy, it is imperative that we invest in science, innovation, and a national scale revolution, a vision championed by both CSIR and CCST. Dear graduates, though you graduate today, your journey with CCST does not end here. You are now part of alumni family, and we hope you will return to mentor, to collaborate, and to carry CCST legacy with pride. And behind every successful student is a supportive community, your parents, guardians, faculty, friends who guided and encouraged you. We are deeply very grateful to all of you. I don't want to mention names because our time is far spent. Madam Chair, I'm bringing my presentation to a close, but I want to state here that CCST is evolving into a leading postgraduate research university in science and technology with exceptional staff, good facilities, expanding program base, and impactful research. We are well positioned to shape the next generation of scientists and innovators.
And this is still Joy Newsroom. More of news right after this break. Stay with us. Thanks for joining us. You're still live on Newsroom. My name is Sheila Sechi. Coming up, Bono Regional Director of the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, Cynthia Enima Bwedu, has called on women to build capacity and be prepared at all times for leadership roles as part of their contributions towards national development. At a sensitization seminar on the affirmative action law with traditional women leaders, she said the objective of the law is not to control men, but rather to provide equal opportunities for collaborative growth. Precious Semevo has more.
Ghana's Affirmative Action Act 2024 promotes women's participation in all areas of society while addressing gender inequality to create more opportunities for women. But little is known about the existence and the essence of the law. The National Commission for Civic Education, in partnership with Action Aid, organized a one-day sensitization seminar for Queen Mothers and Women's Assembly members to discuss key aspects of the Act promoting women in leadership and women's rights. Bono Regional Manager of Action Aid, Kwame Afram-Dentra, expressed optimism that stakeholders would work to ensure fair working conditions and women's rights become a reality per the Act. Nanaya Amponsa Baku Marehima Odumase No. 1 Traditional Council believes the Act is a game changer for gender equity.
I think with this affirmative action, everything is going to be okay for, not necessarily for women alone. Paramount chiefs and other things, or queen mothers, we think it's good for us. We have to work together and join the men. We are not going to be silenced again. The curriculum should enact everything that we are saying so that they will teach the children and know their rights.
Bono Regional Director of the NCCE, Cynthia Enima Bwedu, said the bill is not to disadvantage men.
Looking at the way the bill is for gender equity and equality. The main thing that the women are coming to take over from them, control them and all that, that is not the issue. You and I know that we have some inequalities in our system. And this is based on culture, the way we live and all that. If society is able to train all of us together so that each of us will have that opportunity to grow, I believe if you get a woman who is independent to marry, you'll be happy.
She called for women to prepare for leadership roles.
They should always be prepared for leadership because women are already born leaders. We manage the home and we manage you, the men, to become who you are. So when you are given the opportunity to bring your leadership qualities to bear in society, I mean from your home to the larger community, I believe we should be prepared to take it up so that we all contribute to the building of our country.
Precious Semevo, Joy News, Sunyai.
And in other stories, the Chief of Staff, Julius Debrah, says Ghana's civil service staff must be continually trained and upskilled to operate effectively within a digitized public sector. Speaking on behalf of the President at the climax of the 2025 Civil Service Week celebration and 2024 awards ceremony held at the Alisa Hotel, he said the Mahama administration is committed to supporting the civil service to become a fully modernized, responsive and digitally empowered institution.
I'm so excited about the team you've chosen for yourself today. And just as I said, with determination and patience, we can together cause fantastic changes, and that will be part of the resetting agenda. Kindly note that digital tools are only as powerful as the people who use them. The human element therefore remains critical. Our civil service staff must be continuously trained and upskilled to operate within a digitized public sector. We must build a workforce that is not afraid of change, but embraces innovation as a path of national development. The future will not wait. The digital revolution is not coming. Instead, it is already here. To all chief directors, staff, and all who will be receiving awards today, I offer my heartfelt congratulations to you. Your commitment is not only commendable, but deeply inspiring. You are proof that transformation is a surety and that excellence in the public service is not a dream, but a reality. I urge you to let this recognition renew your dedication and serve as a call to even greater service. Let this celebration serve as a reminder that while much has been achieved, there is still more to do. Remain focused, diligent, purposeful in the pursuit of excellence in the years ahead. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong.
And in the face of climate chaos, how we tell the story matters. That's the driving force behind the CLARE training initiative led by the Climate and Development Knowledge Network, Joy News, Climate Nonprofit CLARE, and the University of Ghana's Center for Climate Change and Sustainability Studies. The program is aimed at equipping journalists to tell compelling, people-centered climate stories that drive action. Elsie Texan has more in this report.
Too often, climate change reporting feels distant. But when stories are rooted in local reality, they spark engagement. That's the goal of the CLARE project, which aims to turn data into stories that inform, connect, and inspire. The program brought together journalists and researchers for hands-on training in translating science into storytelling. At the opening session, Joy News senior editor Event Mensah challenged journalists to frame climate stories in ways that shift mindset from skepticism to activism.
So climate change has been a conversation that's been happening for so long. However, for us, whoever the journalist is, whether you are here or not, you need to humanize the conversation. Find the lives that are affected, find the people who must solve the problems that these lives are sort of enduring due to climate change challenges, connect them and amplify those ordinary voices in the way that forces action. It's really as simple as that.
Senior Research Fellow at the University of Ghana's Center for Climate Change and Sustainability Studies, Dr. Yao Ajimambafo, called for stronger media-academic collaboration to deepen public understanding on climate change.
When it comes to how, journalists can better report issues on climate change, I think they need to work collaboratively with researchers, because I don't know, that's why we are here anyway. But researchers need to also be willing to help the journalists to better understand their research findings. It means that, there should be, some of the technical words should be broken down for them to understand, and they should be willing to also make time to maybe take the researchers on maybe some of their field trips, and they should organize workshops that makes the research findings easy for journalists to understand.
CDKN's country engagement lead, Prince Ansah, also highlighted opportunities for media research partnerships to drive evidence-based reporting and climate solutions.
Beyond this training, what other support is that we continue to, this is going to be a collaborative platform where there's going to be a continuous work between the researchers and the journalists for a very long period of time on different topics. So, we have like those who are working on energy, those who are working on water resources, agriculture, migration, or in the context of climate change.
The program covered everything from simplifying science and challenging misinformation to engaging affected communities without using overwhelming language. Elsie Kesiedu's report read to you.
And now we move on to the Habitat Fair. The much anticipated EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is in full swing, and it's more exciting than ever. This year's edition has gone beyond bricks and mortar to showcase not just beautiful homes, but the future of living, from eco-friendly electric cars to high-tech security doors that offer peace of mind. Whether you're on the hunt for your dream home, looking to upgrade your doors with the latest in smart security, or curious about making the switch to electric vehicles, the Habitat Fair, which is currently taking place at the Tema Community 7 traffic light, is the right place to be. We will take you live to the fair, but first, here is what you missed yesterday.
So the Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair has already kicked off, and of course, as it is every year, we exhibit from homes, cars, everything that you need to get proper accommodation. So you can come to Tema Community 7 traffic light and get all that you need. Let's get closer and speak to some of the companies that have signed up to this particular event. We have Virtual Security Africa here. Let's get closer and speak to our beautiful lady in yellow. Orange, yes, thank you. So what should people who are coming to Virtual Security Africa look out for?
All right, thank you. Okay, so we are giving a whopping 20% discount on our products, and we want everybody coming through, the fair, to come to our stands. We have quality they can trust. We are giving them lifetime after-sale support, of which the first 6 months is free. We are giving them 2 years warranty as well. And we are giving them the best. When it comes to electronic security solutions, your go-to brand is Virtual Security Africa. We've been in the system for 17 years, delivering top-notch security solutions. So we have CCTV, fire alarm, intruder alarm, access control, time and attendance, access, electric fencing. Beyond that, we do fleet management, asset tracking. We have vehicle bomb barriers, tank styles, and many more. So we are treating everyone to come through for these amazing discounts that we are giving, and the quality that gives them peace of mind. Yeah.
All right, you heard that. So come through, come to Virtual Security Africa to get the best security for your homes there. And of course, let's go to another security company, that is Yobent Security Doors. Why should somebody choose Yobent and not any other, security company?
Yeah, in terms of security doors, Yobent is the leading brand in installation of premium Turkish doors, Italian doors, washroom doors, pivot doors, and then internal doors. These doors are made of galvanized steel, which is anti-rust. We have the cast iron doors, and then above that, the locking system. It has 14 locking systems. That's the pins that locks into the hole. It's 14 locking system, and these doors are made of galvanized steel, which is anti-rust, and two, they are made of. We have many finishings and many designs. We have the composite finishing, we have the full metallic finishing, we have the fiberglass finishing, and also we have the wooden finishing. These doors comes in various sizes and dimensions. Be it 3 feet, that's the single, the 4 feet, be it 1.5, 5 feet, be it 1.5 or double, and the double itself. And the standard door height is 7 feet. In the case where your place is a little extended to 8 feet, we have a door that can cater for that space. And also we customize to any of your taste or your preference. Yobent is there to do that for you.
And that was the Habitat Fair yesterday. But what's happening there today? Pius Kojobaka is there live and joins us via Zoom. Hi, Pius. How are you doing this afternoon?
Hello, Sheila. I'm doing great, and I believe you are also doing well. Well, we are currently at the third day for the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, where we have display of great home products and what have you. It is important for us to engage some of the exhibitors here at the third day of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. So let us approach some of the exhibitors right behind me for some quick conversation on what they have on display and what's in for customers or potential homeowners. Come along as we interact with some of them. Hello, sir. This is Interplast, and we do have one of their rep here. Tell us, Interplast, what do you have on display here?
Okay, so at Interplast, we are into the manufacturing and distribution of plastic pipes and fittings, and also our Everlast windows and doors. Yes, so here we have PPR pipes, we have borehole pipes, we have corrugated pipes, we have the HDPE pipes, and then the PVC pipes as well. And then the fittings to couple these particular pipes. We also have UPVC doors and windows for your buildings, your projects, and then any other use you want to use them for. We have here our panelized CNG. is used for your inside and then outside ceiling. Yes, so if you want to contact Interplus, you can call us on 0302-819000.
Walk us through the cost effectiveness of your products.
Our products are of high quality. So once you are paying a price for the product, you know you are getting the quality you want. So what we have a saying here: I'm not rich enough to buy cheap. Right. Yes, so that means the price of our product goes with the quality of the product. Yes, and then once you are ready to buy, we can consider some discounts when you are ready.
What is the range are you looking at?
Between 10 to 20% discounts. Yes.
But ultimately, what has been the patronage like for you?
On the first day, the turnout was a bit slow. I don't know if it was because it was on a working day. But yesterday, it was a bit high. Today, too, we are now starting the day. So we are expecting to receive more customers coming in.
Great. So that's Interplus for you. We want to visit another stand to have a full appreciation of what is going on by way of our EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. And let's see what we have here. Virtual Security Africa. We have a beautiful lady here to walk us through what they have on display and tell us what Virtual Security Africa is all about. Hi.
Hi.
And thank you for joining us here on Joy Newsroom. First off, tell us what Virtual Security Africa is all about.
All right, thank you very much. So Virtual Security Africa, we are the leading providers of integrated electronic security products in Ghana and in West Africa. So our comprehensive range of products include CCTV surveillance systems. We have time and attendance, biometric time and attendance, access control. We have alarms, fire alarm. We have intruder alarm systems. And beyond that, we do fleet management, GPS asset tracking, and we have body-worn cameras. So basically, security for every problem. It's a solution for every problem when it comes to the security space. And we've been in the security industry for 17 years, providing cutting-edge, top-notch security for all our clients. So basically, that's what we'll do. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we have to go, Sheila, but tell you what, if you are seeking to get your home appliances by way of a prospective homeowner like yourself, Sheila, I believe, this is the place to be, the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair live at Tema Community 7 at the EcoBank branch. Reporting for Joy Business, Pius Kojobaka. Back to you, Sheila.
Thank you, Pius. And of course, we will make our way to the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. But now moving on to a rather sad note, Ghana continues to mourn the passing of high life legend Daddy Lumba as tributes pour in from across the country and beyond. Current President John Dramani Mahama and former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo have both expressed deep sorrow over the loss of Charles Kojo Fosu, describing him as a musical icon whose legacy will live on for generations. From political leaders to fellow musicians and devoted fans, the tributes reflect the immense impact Daddy Lumba had on Ghanaian music and national identity.
It appears we're stuck in travels. That was the lament in Yayaka Quintrum, a song about distance, struggle, and longing. And now, it has become a reality. Ghana's high life icon, Daddy Lumba, has taken his final trip, one from which there is no return. Born Charles Kojo Fosu, Lumba was more than just a musician. He was a mirror to our emotions, singing what many feared to say. On the airwaves, at weddings, in heartbreak, and even in politics, Lumba's voice was Ghana. From Abinwaha, which made speakers explode across the country, to the soul-soothing Teresa. Lumba gave us love, confidence, and vulnerability. His pen touched on poverty, lust, loyalty, betrayal, and resilience.
He reminded us that sikasem, money, could destroy the best of friendships. That minyampo, even when you have nothing, you must stand with dignity. He was a life full of beautiful contradiction, bold yet reflective, unapologetic but honest. A man who battled illness, personal loss and controversy, but always returned through music with yet another truth wrapped in melody.
And Daddy Lumba has left a void that can never be filled, but his voice, his music, and his legacy still lives on. Now, moving on, we'll bring you tributes from President Mahama and former president. And this is from John Dramani Mahama. I have learned with deep sorrow the passing of Ghanaian music legend Charles Kojo Fosu, affectionately known as Daddy Lumba. Lumba's unattached musical genius provided the soundtrack of our lives, carrying us through various phases of life. The beat to his memorable songs may have died down, but his enduring legacy will echo through the ages. On behalf of the government of Ghana, I extend heartfelt condolences to his family and loved ones for this irreplaceable loss. And also the former president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo wrote this on his Facebook wall. With regret, I have received the sad news of the passing of my dear friend and renowned music icon Charles Kojo Fosu. Daddy Lumba, as we affectionately called him, was a pantheon among musical greats of all time and had a special connection with his fans and the entire nation. His hit-making songs will remain lasting contributions to the presidential journey and will forever be etched in the annals of political campaign of the New Patriotic Party. He will sorely be missed. May he peacefully rest in the bosom of the Almighty until the last day of the resurrection, when we shall all meet again.
And now he's gone quiet.
And that's how we wrap up Joy Newsroom at 1 with me, Sheila Sechi. Thanks for joining us, and do log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. Have a good afternoon.